Sagittarius, welcome to your mid-May 2021 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. So, we are having a new moon on April May 11th at 21 degrees of Taurus. And this is going to fall in the 6th house for Sagittarius. Obviously, this depends on your individual chart. But that's the 6th house, if all things being equal for Sag. And this is the house of Virgo. So this is the house of your routines, your time management, your, like daily schedule, your work, the service that you offer to others, your health. And so all of these areas, you may see something being featured in one of these areas. By the way, I don't have any lights on and it's overcast outside. It's during the day, but also the curtains are partly drawn, so I think it won't show as being dim, but in case it is, that's why. I usually just don't turn on the lights during the day. So don't underestimate this as a new moon, because I think Sagittarius tend to be very kind of carefree, freewheeling, whatever you want to call it. And sometimes that can lead to a person who is doing things on a whim instead of, ordering their day more. And even when I say ordering their day, it sounds like, ugh. And I have the moon in Virgo, so I really fantasize about, this perfectly organized life and surroundings. And I hope that one day I get there. I know I am going to get there. But still, when it comes to implementing it, it feels like you're doing something against your spirit, doesn't it? I don't know. So we have to get beyond that, and we have to see the freedom in discipline. That was I don't know if it was a book or if it was a chapter in a book about yoga that I read, the discipline and freedom, the freedom and discipline. And it made so much sense that if you don't have your life together and you don't have discipline, then you don't have freedom. And so if you kind of rebel against anything, you rebel against yourself, trying to tell you to do certain things, that can only lead to feeling more and more out of control. And that doesn't help you. Now, obviously, people take things to extremes, and that's not what I'm talking about. There we go. There's Leo, strength. In this deck, they have Leo as number 11 instead of, it's switched with the Justice card. But I'm trying to pick this top card, but it is stuck because it's matte. And by the way, the Temperance card is Sag's card, so. Okay, I'll pick an additional card. These are both reversed. Okay. The heart of the matter is a strength card. You see the symbol of infinity. See, I think it should be an 8. I think that the strength card should be 8 because Leo, that's the 8th month. At least a lot of Leo. Actually, I don't know how many of you know that we're having the new moon in Leo's on the Lionsgate portal. Maybe that's what this is all about, the Lionsgate portal. So the strength card is the heart of the matter. This can be feeling more confident about your life for some reason. This could be a Leo person, obviously, coming into your life, but you are gaining that kind of confidence within yourself. Usually with a card like the Strength card, if you have been suffering from health issues and maybe your immune system was down or something, and you're starting to get stronger physically, that could be what is going on as well. And perhaps that new moon in the sixth house of health is reflecting your commitment to your health, like you're turning over a new leaf. Anything to do with these types of matters. This can be that you're relying on yourself, and we did get the Magician. That was the clarification card that I got. So that kind of seals the deal for that. In my Tarot Plain and Simple book, one of the words that they use is, or phrases, is taming the beast within. And that really, speaks to all kinds of, temptations, habits, that can lead to dissipation, can lead to you, draining your resources. And so this is about self-empowerment for sure in your life. In the past position, we have the Three of Wands. And this is a card of expansion. And, there's a creative angle to this. And Leo is a very creative sign as well. So that may be a part of that healing that you've done, is through embracing your creativity. Maybe you have experiencing your ship coming in, or that you have had some taste of success if you have started some kind of creative project, some project that has been met with, approval, popularity. If you have your own business, maybe you've been doing good business lately, and that has boosted your confidence, because, it would be human nature to be disappointed if you started to experience some kind of a lull in your sales or that kind of thing. And it's kind of like, even if you have your own business, it coming back to life, it kind of springing back to life and feeling more optimistic, or actually more than just optimism, more confident as a result of that. The higher message is Temperance. This is associated with Sagittarius. Why? I don't really know, because it seems like it's about maintaining balance. I would think Libra it should be a Libra, but this is a card that to me is about looking at life not just in that moment of success, but when you feel like you're not getting the sales, you're not getting the attention that you want if you're single, and you feel like you're overlooked, or you just, if you're in a relationship and your partner is engrossed in something, perhaps they're working a lot, and you just feel like neglected, that you don't over dramatize the situation, you don't overreact. Fire signs, hello, drama queens sometimes, and that you kind of maintain an even keel. In yoga, they call that equanimity, because the point being that you're not attached to the outside world. So when things, and also like with success, I think about when you're making more money than usual, do you tend to spend it more than usual? And not because you really need something, just because you think, hey, the Sag can be very excessive and extra in what they're doing, self-indulgent, so we have to kind of put on the brakes sometimes. And when we're having those successes, not to use that as an opportunity to be overly indulgent. I mean, yes, of course, you can treat yourself and, celebrate your win, but you don't have to go whole hog there. You know what I mean? What's crossing you is the Son of Swords. If this is a person, it could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, who might be chronologically younger than you, but is creating this is the Knight of Swords, in other words, creating a problem in your life. Maybe they are kind of coming in and out of your life. And that's a real good one too, because we are having, this is, meant for the mid-month period. I'm sure I'm going to be doing an end of the month tarot reading as well, probably in the next week. And astrologically, there's going to be a Mercury retrograde at the end of May. So you may hear back from somebody from your past. And this person may come back to you right when you are you feel strong, like that song. Why can't I ever think of the lyrics? That disco song, and right when I was getting strong, you came back into my life, whatever it is. I can think of the melody, but I can't think of the lyrics. So that kind of thing can be very unnerving and unsettling and kind of throw you off your game if you let it. So try to kind of tune into the vibration of Leo as a fixed sign, but think of it also as the lion. The lion doesn't flinch when a flea comes near it or lands on it. The lion has its own immovability. I mean, it can move if it wants to, but it doesn't just move because somebody else is trying to kind of trigger it or get it to move. And so if you have, left a relationship where the person might have been a narcissist or a just immature in their, they maybe they cut you down, they try to get a rise out of you, argumentative. So the question is, are you going to be caught off guard by somebody? It's funny, the Nine of Wands kind of reminds me of this as well, probably the reversed version, because it's kind of like, not having these boundaries up and things like that. The Seven of Wands is similar because you're kind of defending yourself, and you feel when the card is in reverse that you're being defeated somehow. Maybe you think that you have the upper hand in a situation and somebody else is trying to convince you otherwise. One of the things I have to tell you, I did have a situation where my camera shut down and didn't record the second half of the reading. So I was trying to figure out where I left off, and I figured that I had already mentioned the Seven of Wands in reverse, and I was saying, if somebody comes back into your life. So that was kind of where I was going with that. So I hope that I did, in fact, mention that. But the thing is that this is kind of part of the journey of healing. I mean, even on the physical level, that sometimes you have days where you're still like in that process of healing and you don't feel as good. Sometimes you're like, oh man, I feel so much better, but you still have a ways to go. So the Strength card is about having patience and being able to, allow for things to unfold in their right time, and having, and it's almost like on the spiritual level, having faith. It's like spiritual strength is faith, because you don't see it, but you know that you can experience that. The outcome is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and that's why I picked an additional card. And it's interesting that with this deck, I have been getting reversed cards. I haven't worked with it for a while, And I do read reversed cards. And so I want you, Sag, to really think about your concept of abundance. The Three of Wands to me is really about abundance of ideas and that feeling of expansion in your life. And Leo is connected to the Strength card, so that fire energy is very optimistic and very generous. And generosity flows both ways. You know, we can be generous to others and also to ourselves. And so that lack of deprivation. Sages tend to be, you know, a little bit extra, and, you know, the way that we, you know, some can be spendthrifts unless you have the moon in Capricorn or inner planets in Capricorn. You might be a lot more cautious about money. So, you know, if you have Capricorn rising, you know, you may have been raised in an environment that was kind of like you didn't have the material resources that other people around you had, even if it wasn't being in poverty. It might have felt like there was lack because you were comparing yourself to other people. And the point being that what is your attitude towards money? The 10 of Pentacles is a card of abundance, but you may not feel that way right now. And you have to get to this place that the confidence that you have in other areas is matched in, you know, in the resources arena, that you feel that way with resources. Pluto is going through that area, has been for the last 12 years, and has, actually, I think it's been 13 now. No, 12. So, yeah, 13. 2008, that's 13 years ago. And Pluto is a transformation agent for sure. So it makes sense that Sages are shifting in this area, but it can go through a lot of stuff in between. You may have had a lot of interesting experiences in the last 13 years with money. And this is also the card of inheritance or family money. This is turned upside down, so there could be some problems with inheritances. And if that's the case with the Son of Knight of Swords, there could be a lawyer who's unscrupulous, who is, you know, creating problems. And you may feel like with the Seven of Wands in reverse that you are not winning, and I'm putting that in air quotes, because you're not getting what you think you deserve. I picked a clarification card, and it was the Magician. Perfect. Magician is connected to Aries, another fire sign, and this is the card of, to me, doing for self, conscious co-creation, you taking the reins of, you know, the horse, and, you know, directing your life in a certain direction. When I did this reading the first time, I mentioned that last night I was watching a video on YouTube by this young female channeler who was talking about future trends with business and things like that. And one of the things she was saying was, you know, having your own business. And it's very apropos because Monday, May 10th, I will be celebrating 6 years of providing these types of readings on YouTube and starting my business. And I am very proud of myself because it was something that I, you know, never intended to do. I never had any desire to do it. I did it at an age, I did it in my late 40s, and that's something that is just, you know, if you've gotten to your late 40s yet, you know how you feel at that point. Maybe even in your early 40s, maybe in your late 30s. You feel like, okay, this is it. I mean, sometimes that's how you feel. Even sages, even people that have an expansive outlook. And so it's very important to keep in mind that anything can happen in your life. And that even if you have something like a business, that you can keep growing, and you don't have to just grow in the kind of way that conventional logic suggests, that you have to just keep, having more and more of something. You can do things your own way, and you can measure your success by a different yardstick. And the bottom line is a sense of freedom for Sages. That's what we crave more than anything else. And that doesn't mean that we can't have freedom if we work for somebody else. It's just that with what has been happening in the past year, we know that these things can be just at a moment's notice be shut down. If you have a physical business, even if you work for yourself, if you have a physical business, it can be shut down. During the shutdown, I never stopped working. Of course, I'm not saying that I made the same amount of money. I'm not saying that, and I didn't get, unemployment like some people either. I didn't get any of that unemployment, or if anybody got compensated for their gig job. And there were a lot of people in my boat who fell between the cracks in that sense. But you know what? The magician is self-reliant. Self-reliance is freedom. That doesn't mean that we go around thinking that we're an island. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying when you can cultivate more self-reliance, Sag, and you can become more resourceful, which is another key word of this card, you have the keys to your to the template of Sagittarian's happiness, or I'll say contentment, because happiness just implies it. Everybody is just in pure bliss 24/7, but just like peace of mind. And for the most part, allow yourself an occasional freak out. That's always a good plan. But anyway, I think that is a great place to end the reading. The Magician card to me is how I choose to view life. And I hope that you enjoyed this, Sag. If you would like a personal reading, I've been promoting my double natal chart readings, which are comprised of analyzing the chart for 1 hour and an hour of transits for a special price. It's called a deep dive reading. And I have other readings, and you can find them at the link below. I'm at RainaMoonAstrology.com. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.